Hi everybody, Linda Carroll here from my studio, Gatherer of Great Things, and today we're going to continue on with the 12 Days of Christmas. It's day 4 in this collage series, and also day 4 of Christmas. And on the 4th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. So here is the illustration from the children's book that inspired this series, and they're okay, but they're kind of dull and boring. So this collage is going to need a lot of imagination, I think, and a lot of color. I'm going to go ahead and go through some of my stash. Let's see. You'll see my bags of scraps that I go through. You'll see my bin of labeled objects and items that I'll go through, and also one of my stamp albums that I'll go through and see what calls out to me to be used on the 4th day of Christmas. When I started thinking about this, the word that stood out the most to me was calling, from the calling birds. And I used in the collage for the 2nd day of Christmas, this strip up here where Myrna Loy is talking on the telephone. So I'm going to be looking for a telephone, and I seem to remember I have one in my stash, a vintage phone that I'll be able to use. And we'll see what else I find and what else calls to me. I did finish off the 3rd day of Christmas. Last night I was looking through things and I found this little picture of a stamp, and the cancellation on it had an Eiffel Tower. And I was so thrilled to find this. I tore around the outside edges and placed it over the 3 partially. And then when I started looking at my image, I saw that I had a little bit of purple up here in the check, a little bit of lavender up here in the top of the cloud, and the purple down here in this stamp. So I do have another triangle going here that helps guide your eye through the collage. And also, when I glued down the number 3, I knew intuitively that it was at the right place. I didn't exactly know why. So as I was staring at this, I did see that these lines in the brick, and if you think of them as perspective lines and follow those lines back to what's called a vanishing point, which is probably about here, you'll see that all of them go through, except for the middle one, because that's where I cut the page. But this one, and this one, and this one all point to the number 3. So that's why the 3 ended up there. And that's one of those things, with experience, with practice, you know, your mind's eye sees all of those things, even though it may not register consciously. After you do it for such a long time, it does register subconsciously. So that's how the 3 ended up there. So let's go on and look for some pieces to use in the next collage, and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, I indeed found the telephone that I thought I remembered that I had in my stash. It's a vintage phone. And if you'll remember back on day 2 of our collages, I have Myrna Loy talking on the telephone in this collage. So when I found this one, I was really, really happy. Not only that I found a telephone, so I'm still working on the word calling and communicating, but it is the perfect color palette match to what I've been using in this series. So this is the page that we're going to be working on today, and I'm just going to clamp it down so it'll stay flat. And when I put this on the page, I noticed that these little dots in this piece of junk mail are also the turquoise color or teal color, and I think I'm going to keep those. We'll see how the collage progresses, but I'm going to try and keep those in the background. I also found some feathers that this was from another project that I had stamped on an old almanac, vintage almanac that we can use. I found these earrings and I pulled them just because of the color and because they are so pretty. I don't know if we're going to use these or not, but you never know. I usually pull more stuff than I need, so that's an option. I found this piece of ledger that I really liked. And I found this piece, and I didn't pull it at first, but then it reminded me of my ransom letters, my ransom note letters. So I did get that file out, and I did find some letters that I can use. Ransom note letters, I'm not sure exactly when the term came around, but you know when the bad guys put together a letter and they don't want to disclose their handwriting, so they cut images out of magazines. That's where the name ransom note letters came from. And I just, when I go through magazines, I always cut out letters that are easy to cut apart and to use in collages. In my big art journal, my Dancing Diva art journal, I use a lot of these. And I have a couple D's that I pulled, and I have a couple S's. This one matches the colors that I pulled so far, but then I also found this one, and it's contrasty, so I'm gonna hold on to that one. I may use it or I may not, and this I won't use, but it did start a thought process, so it was a good pull. I found these clocks, which work really, really well with the colors that I have in the collage. And then I found some, little snippets of scrapbook paper that I had saved, intending to use them in a collage or in a gathering or something at some point in time. So, and this one is really pretty. I love the colors, and it matches this perfectly. Ooh, that is really nice. I do like that. And then this piece as well. So, and then I found this piece This is from an old Tisha Moore collage sheet that I had. And I thought, you know, wouldn't that be great to have these birds kind of, I think I only have one that I could kind of perch on here. But wouldn't it be great if they were kind of flying away from their perches? And, you know, I can finish out these little arms that come out here so that they actually would have something to perch on. So that I think might just work for my collage. So those are the pieces that I'm going to be working with to begin with. And I think I have the start of my story. I just have to decide how I'm going to lay these out and finalize the layout of the collage. So I'm going to start, well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fussy cut the birds, which I'm not going to bore you with watching me do that. But then I'm going to work on arranging my elements on this page, and I think I'm just going to do it to music. And if I find something that I really need to talk to you about, I'll just kind of break into the music. But why don't you get yourself a cup of tea or coffee or something stronger and enjoy this part of my process, and I'll be back with you in a few. Okay, I'm back, and I have all my little 4 calling birds fussy cut out, and I really like to trim as close as I can to the edges of my objects so that at the end when my collage is done, it really looks like all the pieces do fit together. So I really think that I can work with this design, and I think I decided to use the red S down here from my ransom note letters, and I really like this border down here at the bottom. So I'm going to move these 2 pieces over here, and let's see what else I'm going to use. I really like these clocks. I may be able to use these up here at the top. There's that one. I think I want to use this side. So if we have that up at the top, and we have this down at the bottom, I really like this border being on both sides, and so let's see if I can get that to work. think I'm gonna have to cheat it a little bit. But I think with that there, well, my birds kind of got mixed up there in the middle. Okay, I'm gonna lose part of my telephone, but I think that's okay. I think I might want to break that up a little bit up at the top. Okay, let's go ahead and start pasting this down. I'm having a hard time visualizing it because of the size of the paper. Okay, I think that my gluing down part is finished. You'll notice that I dropped this piece. It was just too busy there in the middle to have that piece in there. So I took that out and I kind of made the background alternate as far as the papers back there. You know, but it's all about time and birds and counting. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's all about, you know, we would have had 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and then we're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that was kind of a little coincidence there that showed up. I didn't plan that. I like that. So here's 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and then 1 is somewhere in here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's would be our 12 days of Christmas, like that. Let's see what else has shown up. I don't see, it's not talking to me a whole lot yet. I think I need the word calling on here. Calling birds. But I want it, I can see it. I kind of want it in this old style handwriting, kind of spread out here above birds. I think I'm gonna have to spend some time on that, so I'll show that to you when we get together tomorrow. But I really like the layout. I love the colors and the way the color palette is being repeated through the collages, and I really like these ransom letters in here, ransom note letters. They're fun. And definitely with the birds laid out like this and with the circle down here, you're definitely involved in this swirl of calling birds flying around, and you can almost hear the noise that they're making. I have to say, it kind of reminded me of the movie The Birds as I was putting them down and listening to their calls back and forth to one another. So I think I'm going to wrap this up for today. So our 4 calling birds. So we have the first day of Christmas, a partridge in a pear tree. We have the second day of Christmas, 2 turtle doves. We have the third day of Christmas, 3 French hens. And we have the fourth day of Christmas, 4 calling birds. So I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed creating it, and I probably will go in and add some shading around the birds, just a little bit, not much. I think because the colors are so dark on most of the birds that they do come forward from the page. I really like the layout. It's busy, but I really like it. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day or evening or afternoon, whatever it is when you get a chance to watch this. And tomorrow will be the 5th day of Christmas, 5 golden rings, and I have an idea for that. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. Many blessings to you, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye. Hi everybody, this is Linda Carroll at my studio, Gather of Great Things, and welcome to the 12 Days of Christmas. Today we are on day 4 of this collage series, and on day 4, on the 4th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. And that is why I do art. I don't sing.